I started to shake even more than I was before. The first thing that I should have done was call the cops, but I couldn't find my phone. I placed it on the side of the table, but as I looked at the table, it wasn't there anymore. While I was still freaking out about the yellow-skinned man looking at me from my window, the lights started to flicker. They turned on and off and on. They repeated that pattern for a while. After the lights eventually stopped flickering, I heard faint giggles coming from the kitchen. It sounded like a child. I started to sweat and my blood turned cold. I ran straight up the stairs to my son's bedroom. I could have sworn that those giggles came from him. It sounded just like him. But as I turned the lights on, I saw my son sleeping peacefully in his crib. I took him out of his crib and went to my wife. I woke her up from her deep sleep. I tried not to scare her, but it wasn't successful. She had already seen the fear in my eyes, and I knew it was too late to hide this from her. She had already started asking questions, and I answered all of them. I explained to her what happened, and she looked traumatized. She took our son out of my arms and embraced him with a huge bear hug. Then I told her to call the cops. I then opened the upstairs closet and grabbed a baseball bat and walked downstairs to the room that I was in before. I looked at the window that the creepy man was standing against and saw that he wasn't there. So I started to run around the house looking for any other evidence of this man. Then I heard music that I played for my son when he wanted to play. It was a classic lullaby. Then the glass of milk that I drank earlier this morning fell from the dining table and shattered on the floor. At this moment, I really thought I was going to pass out. Then for once, everything was silent until I heard his voice. As I turned, I saw him sitting on the gray leather couch that was surrounded with a bunch of my son's favorite toys. His mouth was moving. He seemed to have been talking to himself. And that's when we made eye contact. He didn't look as scary as he seemed before. He looked like a regular person. He had tears flowing from his eyes to the bottom of his chin. I don't quite remember what just happened, but I heard sirens coming from outside and saw the red and blue flickering lights. I was relieved. The 3 cops had came into my house and I couldn't even explain what happened at the time. They took him and put him inside the ambulance. I didn't realize that the car had already left. My wife came up to me and explained what the cops had told her. Apparently, the police knew that this was going to happen again because of the times that this man has done this before. This man's child had drowned in her own pool 2 years ago. The man said that his child's spirit still runs around this neighborhood. The police showed a picture to my wife of the beautiful blonde little girl. The man claimed that his child's spirit was still running around in our house. Instead of feeling creeped out, I felt sad. My wife and I walked to our bed getting ready to sleep, but on the way there, my wife tripped on something. She grabbed it and showed it to me. It was a pink bowl. For a second I thought it was normal, until I noticed that there were no little girls living in this house. I looked at my wife, and she was staring at me, traumatized, standing there just like the man in the window.